Hi, my name is Dr. Jim Powell here at Powell Chiropractic Clinic. We wanted to explain to you some of the opportunities that we've learned to be able to help patients with a wide variety of different chiropractic tools and techniques. Tools are used in many different professions, everything from chiropractic to medicine to physical therapy for benefiting the body. One of the things that we've discovered that we're using here at the clinic is called the Impulse IQ. And that doesn't really mean anything to you at this moment, but what we want to kind of do is describe what is it that we've done, where we've came from, and where we're headed. Here at Powell, we've utilized many different technologies, and as the technology breakthroughs come through, we adapt to the cutting edge. We started out in the 70s with an instrument called an activator. An activator does move spinal segments very specifically. However, it's only one thrust at a time. And then in the 80s, we found a machine called a rapid fire. Now, the rapid fire was the first electrically charged chiropractic instrument to adjust the spine. And as you can see, there's many different adapters for both muscle and spinal segment, and it offered a lot of benefit to a lot of folks. However, we discovered in the early 2000s there was a machine called a Pro Adjuster. Now, the Pro Adjuster was the first computerized adjustment instrument, and we were very excited about the technology. However, there were some drawbacks to the Pro Adjuster. And what I'll explain to you when I show you the evidence of the Impulse IQ, the differences are monumental. And so we've exclusively gotten to the IQ in our treatment program. So one of the things that we utilize is motion and kinetic energy. As you may remember from general science when you were in elementary school, is that once you give something some energy or a thrust, if it has any type of a pendulum component to it, it will swing. So if you can imagine you're pushing your granddaughter or your daughter on the swing set, and as you give her a thrust, she'll swing out away from you and then come back to you. If you began to thrust on her swing before her momentum has stopped at the other end, then you'll disrupt her swing ride. So if you were to push that child, it would alter the kinetic component or the kinetic energy. One of the uniquenesses that we have found in regards to the Impulse IQ is that the instrument never leaves contact with the spinal segment that it's analyzed. So therefore, the motion of the bone is not disrupted. So the instrument, as I will show you briefly, is that when the bone moves, the instrument won't thrust until the bone's moving back in the appropriate direction again. So it's a very unique technology. In the front of the instrument, as you can see in the diagram, there is a sensor, and this sensor measures motion. The computer processing board in the handle identifies the information from the sensor, puts together an instruction to the instrument as far as speed in which the instrument will turn on and the depth, and it will alter depending on what the sensor delivers. The piezoelectric sensor is a very unique sensor. It was created in the 40s. And the reason it was created is a little bit of history tragedy. The iron bridges of the 30s and 40s were held together by rivets. And in the middle of the night, very commonly, when weather's fronts would come through or the temperature would change, the bridges would collapse into the riverbanks. And people unsuspecting would be driving their cars to go home. They would believe that the bridge was still there, and they would drive clean into the river bank, and many lives were lost. What they discovered was that the rivets that were holding these bridges together would crack, whether it was the vibration of the vehicles, the temperature changes. Those rivets are critical. What would happen is a certain number of them would crack, and then it couldn't withstand the weight of the bridge any longer, and the bridge would just simply collapse into the riverbank. They discovered if they tapped the rivet, the vibration of a rivet cracked is different than the vibration of a rivet that was solid inside the steel girder. So the piezoelectric sensor was created for this purpose. So it measures vibration, it measures frequency. And this frequency is critical in regards to a chiropractic alignment. So as you can see in this animation, the instrument is placed on a vertebral segment. It's given a thrust or a treatment. That segment goes into motion. It doesn't thrust again until that segment is already headed into the right direction, and it continues to do so until the vibration or the flexibility of that joint has been changed from the previous analysis. As soon as that segment is freed loose, the instrument shuts itself off and the adjustment has been performed. In a chiropractic setting, our main concern is to make sure that the segments of your spine are in proper alignment, that the muscle structures around that area have been able to support or hold that alignment, and that the spine is flexible. So flexibility is very, very much the key in healthcare. So whether you're playing basketball and the ball hits the end of your finger and it stoves the finger, or whether you've slipped and fallen on ice, you're jamming joints, you're stopping or altering flexibility. So our goal is to increase flexibility of the spine. If we could take the pressure off the nerve roots, the body can heal itself of pretty much any health concern. And then once that flexibility has been achieved, strengthening the muscles of the spine or whatever joint we're in question, whether it be a finger, a wrist, an elbow, shoulder, doesn't matter. You have to get the joints in alignment, get it flexible, and then strengthen that around it. The posture muscles of the spine are something that we also are very concerned about, and we have the ability to make changes for that, but you still have to get that flexibility done first before any type of a strengthening needs to be done. Powell Chiropractic Clinic is honored to be able to serve our community, and we have done so for over 50 years. As new techniques or new methods are discovered, we do our very best to evaluate those to see how they would fit in the clinic. There's many different aspects or treatments that we offer here at Powell. The IQ instrument is used widely, but we also offer a lot of different treatments. We do treatments on pediatric or children, elderly, and then everybody in between. So if there's anything that we could ever do for you or your family, please don't hesitate to ask the doctors here at Powell. We'll do our very best to offer you the best service we can. Thank you.